In December 1984, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection held a public hearing on the proposal to build a huge garbage incinerator in the Ironbound section of Newark. At the hearing, representatives of the Metropolitan Ecumenical Ministry's Signs of Hope Toxic Waste Task Force expressed their opposition to the garbage incinerator. MEM's Toxic Waste Task Force is composed of many members from different churches and civic organizations. The task force believes that collectively, we are stewards of the earth. Hence, it is our responsibility to promote a healthy, safe environment for humans to prosper in. The task force joined hundreds of Ironbound residents, as well as many other residents throughout Essex County, who strongly disagree with the state and city government's claims that this garbage incinerator would safely solve the city's garbage problems. The following are excerpts from that important hearing.
As I called for their testimony, because we have so many people who have registered. At the end of 5 minutes, I will give you another 15 seconds. I will tell you when your time is up. The next person after Ms. Powell will be Donald Campbell, so you can, and I would call two names, one right after the other, so the second person.
Good evening. My name is Reverend Linda S. Powell. I am pastor at Trinity Reformed Church at 483 Furry Street. I am speaking tonight on behalf of the congregation at Trinity Reformed Church and also as a delegate of the Commission on Community Life of the New Jersey Council of Churches. I'm also speaking as a member of the Toxic Waste Task Force of Signs of Hope Convocation, which met November 16th and 17th. This was a convocation countywide of churches. Unanimously, this resolution was adopted at the convocation. It reads as such: as residents of Essex County and members of its various churches and community organizations, acknowledging the research done by independent environmental scientists and community groups that carefully considered the potential dangers and impact of the garbage incinerator proposed for the Ironbound section of Newark, on top of already abnormally high levels of pollutants in the Newark environment, and recognizing the work of the Ironbound Committee Against Toxic Wastes to oppose this incinerator, we firmly resolve, number one, to oppose the construction of a garbage incinerator at the Ironbound site or any other similarly unsuitable site in the county, and propose that instead the county develop a comprehensive county-wide recycling program to handle the bulk of Essex County's solid waste products, thereby eliminating the need for a garbage incinerator and protecting all our residents' health, our earth, and the quality of life in our county and beyond its borders, as air pollution from this facility will not respect local boundaries. We urge the members of this body to return to their individual churches to press for immediate attention to this subject, to call for speakers on this issue, with the goal of submitting a congregational resolution to the respective denominational boards, to the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, the Newark City Council, and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. I would also like to note, since I have been here since 2:15, the rules of the game for today. I have some questions. It was noted that public officials would speak 10 minutes, ordinary people 5 minutes. Is the President of American Refuel an elected official, or is he an ordinary citizen?
Nancy Zach, Z-A-K. I'm an Ironbound resident. I've been here since 2 o'clock. I don't think it's fair to have the public official speak for 10 minutes and the ordinary rest of us get only 5 minutes to present our case. I don't think that's fair to the people of Ironbound or to the citizens or taxpayers of this state. And I would say that this hearing is already, the state has already made a decision that this is not an impartial hearing. If you don't give people an equal shake, then this hearing is just a farce. It's ridiculous. These incinerators are not safe because they produce dioxin. Nobody has shown us, contrary to that they don't produce dioxin. They do produce dioxin. We have dioxin in our streets. We don't want any more dioxin there. You say that we are completely safe, that this is a safe operation, that the D.E.P assures us that everything is safe. Well, we were assured many times that things were safe in the past. And we have had explosions, we have had clouds of gas, we have had school children who, if they had been in school, would have been dead, just like those people in India if that Texaco explosion had happened during the day. And we don't believe it, because the D.E.P has been in charge of a lot of cleanups. Look at what happened at Chemical Control. The D.E.P was already in charge of that site when it blew up, and additional chemicals were brought in there. We know what we're talking about, and you can't fool us anymore.
The next speaker is Robert Conrad.
We have rights, and if we have to go to court in order to get those rights, that's what we're going to do. Now, there's been a mad dash to get garbage incinerators approved in New Jersey. And the reason is simple. Because every day, more information is uncovered in New Jersey, in the rest of the United States, in Japan, and in Europe, proving that garbage incinerators should no longer be built and that the ones already in existence should be shut down. In Der Spiegel, which is a major West German publication, concludes the era of garbage incineration is over. The huge garbage incinerator in Hamburg emits 700 times more dioxin than the recommended limit. The West German Senate is currently considering legislation to ban all plastics as packaging material and to close down all of West Germany's mass-burning garbage incinerators if the poisons cannot be eliminated. It's the countries that have the most incinerators where the most research has been done, and all that points in one direction: no more garbage incinerators. There are a whole slew of other problems that have not been resolved by this proposal. In addition, if this proposal were approved by the D.E.P., they will have to break 5 state and federal laws in order to do it. I'll say that again. It cannot be approved unless the D.E.P. is willing to break the law. You are asking the residents of Ironbound, who are already stuck with the highest levels of dioxin in the world, already stuck with the highest levels of toxic air contaminants in New Jersey, already stuck with the highest levels of cancer and heart disease, and of having toxic chemicals in their blood. You're asking the people of Newark, who already have a severe problem with lead poisoning with their children that's causing problems in school, it's causing mental retardation and birth defects. You are asking us to accept a technology that has been proven to cause health problems all over the world, and you're asking the most sensitive population in the United States, the Ironbound community, this most sensitive population, which has already given more than its fair share to economic development in this country, you're asking us to take it. And then you have guys from Milburn and Livingston and all these other cities come here tonight saying that they approve of that idea. No wonder.
Thank you. I'm Freola Joseph Parlavecchio, and I'm a homeowner resident of the Ironbound section of Newark, and also the freeholder representative of the area proposed for the siting of this garbage incinerator. I have researched this particular project for the past 3 years, and I have visited plants of this type in Saugus, Mass. and Pinellas County, Florida. I have been briefed by county officials and the technical consultant employed by the Essex County Board of Freeholders relative to the environmental impact of a plant of this type. As responsible public officials, resolve this problem on the backs of a community that has suffered a disproportionate share of the environmental nightmares that have been experienced by the older areas in the northeastern section of these United States. I say no. The Ironbound as the thoroughfare for the trucks. And just look what happens in the Ironbound section of Newark in just 1 week. This one gets me. Toxic solvent leak pollutes Newark dioxin site. I mean, could you imagine you got a solvent leak polluting a dioxin site? I mean, it's incredible what we have had to endure. Newark Fireman Dow's plant blaze as cyanide fears spur evacuation. This is a daily occurrence in this area. The people of the Ironbound are saying, no more, no more, no more. I urge you not to pass it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. Good evening. My name is Mario Pinto. I represent PAC, Portuguese American Congress, a non-profit organization. I've been a resident of Newark for the past 18.5 years. Our primary objective is to bring across to you the total opposition in the construction and commercial operation of the Essex County Solid Waste Incinerator facility, which has been labeled as a resource recovery facility, a very appropriate mythical name. However, an enormous catch-22 exists. The director of the agency is appointed by the governor. Once again, the vicious cycle of politics and economics, which are the two major important factors in our capitalist society, comes to play once again. Since the community has never shown any type of opposition in regard to any matter, furthermore, taking into consideration that this particular geographic area has been designated by the state for 2 Superfund sites, and just recently the discovery of the highest levels of dioxin in the country. The parties involved, some officials in the city of Newark that have voted in favor. The Port Authority and your agency made an erroneous assumption that they could convince the community using mythical terminology, ambiguous statements, and psychological projections, that the Ironbound section would logically be the place because of the least amount of resistance from its residents. This community has finally come to the end of the road, and we are no longer going to tolerate being literally dumped on. Right on. Our welfare and the welfare of our children will not be put in jeopardy any longer. Politically or economically, there's still a probability of Americans living longer. In Newark, we have intentions of doing so. In Newark, we have intentions of doing so. We shall fight the construction of these 3 incinerators through all the obstacles. We have been a pit of the most toxic pollutants in the country. Enough is enough. We shall fight through hell if necessary for the survival of this community. Thank you.
I come before you as pastor of the St. Stephen's United Church of Christ, located in the heart of the Ironbound section of Newark. As a representative of the Ironbound Ecumenical Association, having 11 Catholic and 11 Protestant churches in this organization, and as director of the Metropolitan Ecumenical Ministry, an interchurch organization in Newark and Essex County comprising roughly 400 churches. Our opposition to the construction of a massive garbage burning plant in the Ironbound is based on 6 solid reasons. This plant, if constructed, will endanger the lives of Newark residents because the proposed burning process will create deadly dioxin, PCBs, vinyl chloride, and lead particles in the air, the water, and the soil. A similar plant was constructed in Hempstead, Long Island a few years ago, but after 2 years of operation it was shut down permanently because of the omitted dioxin emissions. To date, the county authorities in Essex have failed to convince us that the proposed plant is safe and in the best interest of our community residents. 2, the heavily populated working community of the Ironbound has been and remains the dumping ground of numerous chemical companies. As a result, according to medical authorities, the cancer rate, the lung and heart disease rate are among Newark, Ironbound residents as one of the highest in the state of New Jersey. Because of its pollutants, the garbage burning plant, if built, will add injury to insult. 3, the household and industrial waste generated by the 880,000 residents of our county will be hauled by thousands of trucks into the Ironbound 7 or 6 days a week if the plant is constructed. The trucks will wreck the roads of the Ironbound, the noise will be intolerable, the stench will be unbearable. 4, in their tax-paid public relations campaign about the alleged virtues of their plan, the county authorities have failed to state why the plant should be located in a heavily populated working-class area of Newark, or why the people of the Ironbound were never allowed to vote for or against the proposal, or why the plant will be in the residents' interest, since we believe that the proposed construction will lower our property values and will cause many of our residents to leave our community because of the increased health risks.
5, the construction of the plant, we believe, will block the possibility of creating a countywide and eventually statewide mandatory recycling plan for all industrial and household waste. If the plant is constructed, the county authorities will be primarily concerned about maintaining a large and constant volume of waste to be fed daily into this plant. They will forget the fact that a systematic plan of recycling waste paper, glass, ferrous metal, aluminum, plastics, food, and yard waste will create jobs and will drastically reduce the amount of waste which will be placed into landfills. According to a well-informed official of the New York City Sanitation Department, 85% of all industrial household waste is recyclable. Today, the town of Woodbridge, New Jersey, is recycling more than 50% of its waste. They represented 50 churches and more than 20 secular organizations in our county. And on the final day of this convocation, sponsored by the Metropolitan Ecumenical Ministry, they stated in the attached resolution, their resolve, 1, to oppose the construction of a garbage incinerator at the Ironbound site or any other similar unsuitable site in the county, and 2, to propose that instead the county develop a comprehensive mandatory countywide recycling program to handle the bulk of Essex County's solid waste products. The delegates urged churches to express similar views to the County Board of Chosen Freeholders, the Newark City Council, and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. My Ironbound neighbors have reason for their alarm today. We therefore demand, because of the reasons outlined above, that the garbage burning facility not be built in the Ironbound or in any other community of Essex County, and that county officials and our citizens devote their energies to create a feasible, mandatory recycling plan for all of our waste. Thank you.